My name's Ashley and I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I was born in Youngstown, Ohio, and I grew up in Fort Myers, Florida. I grew up in a really loving home. I was an only child, so I pretty much had all of the love and all of the attention that any girl growing up could want. I was a singer and a dancer and a cheerleader and a baton twirler, and I remember doing some modeling when I was really little, and anything that a girl could want to do growing up, my parents completely supported and just gave me everything that I needed to succeed in doing that. I had a really loving and supportive family. My parents didn't always have the best marriage growing up, but they both loved me and still to this day love me and support me no matter what I do. Growing up, just being a cheerleader and a dancer, I was always in front of a mirror, always wearing different costumes or different uniforms, and I remember from a very young age just really finding my identity in what I looked like in the mirror. I can remember spending hours upon hours tearing my closet apart. My room looked like a tornado had swept through it just to get ready for school. I would prepare the night before and spend probably 2 or 3 hours in my room just picking out an outfit. And each time I changed, I would just remember tearing my body apart and just thinking, oh, my thighs are huge, this looks terrible on me. And it was just everything that I did really revolved around what I looked like. In middle school, in 7th grade, I remember our health teacher showed us a video on eating disorders. And I know that she had great intentions showing it, and I'm sure that it didn't affect other students the way it affected me. I found myself not fearful of what the side effects could be from an eating disorder, but I found myself jealous that the girls in this video were able to have an eating disorder. They were able to be so disciplined to be that skinny. And from that day on in 7th grade, I don't remember if I was 12 or 13, it started my journey with an eating disorder that followed me through my mid-20s. I found my identity in that, and along with that, not only did I find my identity in an eating disorder, but I found my identity in boys and in boyfriends. I always had a boyfriend. I always dated the cute guy. I went from one relationship to another. I grew up in church, in the youth group, but I still never had a foundation that I am everything beautiful to God. He created me unique specifically for a purpose. Going through high school and college, my life kind of just stayed the same. It revolved around boys, it revolved around my weight and how I looked and how my hair looked and how my makeup was. Everything just revolved around that. My identity was completely in boys and in my weight and what I looked like. I moved here to Nashville about 5 years ago in 2008, and I still was going through this downward spiral. It was starting to get better. I started getting involved in worship teams and starting to get plugged into a really, really great Bible-based church. And I started learning that, okay, God has something more. God didn't create me to live with an eating disorder. That wasn't connected to my destiny. And this guilt and this shame that I felt growing up, just, you know, the nights and the nights that I would go in the bathroom and, you know, just be at that place of just desperation because I just wanted to be beautiful and I wanted to be accepted. That guilt and the shame that came with that through that eating disorder and the mistakes that I've made with boys in my past, God changed that guilt and shame into this loving conviction. I can't even explain to you what that is and how that feels, but it's like He takes that from you. He takes that guilt and shame and He lovingly helps you. He lovingly convicts you and lovingly tells you, this is not my best for you. This is not what I created you for. And God did that for me. And little by little in my mid-20s, I would love to tell you guys that it was just overnight, I was fixed. No more boyfriends every day, no more eating disorder, but it just didn't happen like that for me. It was just little by little and gradually in my mid-20s that God really helped me to see my value in Him and to see that I was truly beautiful to Him and that He had created me for a purpose. And also that He has someone set apart and special for me. I don't have to lower my standards. And I don't have to do anything to make someone think that I'm beautiful. He had already created someone special for me for that purpose. And it's just such an awesome and freeing feeling when you can just let go. Just let go of the boyfriends and let go of this eating disorder and just say, you know what, God? I have a purpose, and I know that you created me for something more than this. I can't tell you that it's easy to let go, because it's not. And still to this day, you know, I've been completely free of this eating disorder for probably about 4 or 5 years now, and there are still times to this day where I'll wake up or I'll try on clothes and I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. I can't believe I look like this. And the devil knows that that's an area of weakness for me. So that there will be times when my mind is just tempted to go back to that. Okay, I'm just not gonna eat because I need to lose 10 pounds. And then I'm just reminded, and I have to remind myself that, you know what, this is not God's best. That's why it's so important that we renew our minds and that we get into the Word, and then we know that God created us specific for a purpose, for something so great. Not an eating disorder, not multiple boyfriends, not all of these mistakes, but at the same time, all of these mistakes and that guilt and shame, you know, God covers that. And He is so gracious and so merciful. His love remains the same. He is always there for us. He was always there for me. I watched Him time after time after time. Every time I failed Him, He was still there. He was still exactly the same God that I had turned and ran from. He was always there with loving arms, ready to take me into His arms, heal me, and help me to move forward. And He offers that same thing to you all. And Everything Beautiful Ministries is a ministry that I've had on my heart for a very long time, probably since my early 20s. I've had such a passion and such a desire to help girls just like you that are watching this. And the problem was I still needed so much help. I still needed fixed. I tried and tried and tried to start girls' ministries with different girls, and I kept coming back to this place that I wasn't whole with God. And it took just renewing my mind, spending time with God, and getting to know God more than just a religion and more than just going to church, actually getting to know Him and developing a relationship with Him. That God actually just opened my eyes and opened the doors in His timing, which is always slower than our timing. God's timing is just, it makes us wait and it makes us patient. But we grow during that time. I just encourage you, if you're in a season of just waiting and you're just waiting for God to do something for you, I just encourage you to seek Him while you're waiting, because there's so much that He's trying to show you and so much that He's trying to teach you. With Everything Beautiful Ministries, I'm just beyond thankful for God's grace, because I can't tell you the number of times that I failed Him. But yet He is so faithful, and His plan still remains the same. You know, this girls' ministry is created for you girls so that you have people to talk to. We want to be there for you so that these questions maybe that Rachel, Amy, or myself dealt with growing up, we just pray that we're an answer and we can help shine a light and help you focus on God and just help you to see the things that really matter growing up so you can avoid some of these mistakes that the three of us have walked through. We love you, and this ministry and TV show was created just for you, and we're so excited to see what the Lord's going to do with it.